Hello everyone. So what I have here in front of me is the McMaster University Policies, Procedures, and Guidelines for the Stabby Jabbies. We're going to scroll down to page 3 and we're going to focus in on definitions in section 11 here. And this is where they define what fully stabby-jabbied is. So here we go. An individual is fully stabby-jabbied if they have received the full series of a ouchie fauci or a combination of ouchie faucis and otherwise accepted by the WHO, and they received their last dose at least 14 days before the date of the self-declaration. But here's where it gets interesting. Given the changing nature of the situation, if the applicable public health authorities announce a different meaning of fully stabby-jabbied, let's repeat that. If the applicable public health authorities announce a different definition of fully stabby-jabbied, then that definition will take precedence over this one. In other words, this is flexible. This is flexible. They get to decide whether you're fully stabby-jabbied or not. And that can change because, see, the nature of the situation may change, which would cause us to alter the definition of what this actually means. So you never get to decide whether you're fully stabby-jabbied or not. We decide whether you're fully stabby-jabbied. And they even give you an example. So let's continue. For example, if public health authorities announce that additional stabby-jabbies, i.e. booster juicers, are required, individuals will not be considered fully stabby-jabbied until they have obtained those top-ups. You see that? If they say you need top-ups, then you're not fully stabby-jabbied until you get those top-ups. So they determine when you're fully stabby-jabbied. In other words, you're kind of like a gas tank, and if they've decided your gas tank is on E, whether you like it or not, or whether you agree or not, you are indeed declared by them on E, and therefore you need a top-up. So please bear with me. If any of this has resonated with you, please bear with me. I want to take you somewhere unique, but bear with me. I'm trying to make a point. I'm going to take you to Matthew 15 in the Holy Bible. And the reason why I'm taking you here is because the same type of situation was happening even back then. In this account, this is what happens. Then came to Jesus scribes, lawyers and judges, and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, leaders of Jerusalem, saying, "Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders?" See, the elders created their own mandates, their own policies, their own directives. See? And what was one of their directives? Well, your disciples, they wash not their hands when they eat bread. Yeah, these guys actually mandated you need to wash your hands before you eat bread. This wasn't, hey children, go wash your hands before din. This was, you have to wash your hands before you eat the bread. See, it's not wrong to wash your hands before you eat. It's wrong for someone to mandate it and then turn around and say, and if you don't do it, we punish you. We shame you because we say to everyone, you're defiled. Look at this animal that grabbed the apple at his picnic and didn't wash his hands before he ate the apple. Sound a little like we're telling you you need to be clean, and we declare whether you're clean on the inside, see? And you could be defiled and yucky and dirty, and you could walk around unpure, and we decide whether you're fully pure or not, fully clean, fully safe or not, see? Just like they were doing back then. Same thing with this. It's not wrong. If you choose to get stabby-jabbied, that's not wrong, but it's wrong for them to declare that you have to, and if you don't, we will not declare you fully stabby-jabbied, and therefore your occupation and your living is in danger. Again, if you're moved to read this, I urge you to do so, because it's just another example where Jesus is showing us, don't cower to their oral laws. Don't cower to their silly little mandates. Because if you do, they're going to oppress you. And that's what these guys were doing. Nothing new under the sun. And that's what this is about right here. Because see, you would need this clause if you didn't potentially have some thought that you may use it. There's no need for this clause if you are just, get shot number 1 and then booster shot number 2 and you're good to go. No. No, you're not good to go. We'll define whether you're good to go. You might be good to go for a little while, but we might have to change that on you because, we control whether you're good to go or not all the time. Do you see? So if we acquiesce to them on number 1, number 2, the question is, do you ever get to stop acquiescing? So let's talk about that for a minute. So there might be some of you who might say, well, I can agree to, 1 and 2, but I'll never agree to top up number 5 or number 9. I want you to really think about that because I'm going to suggest that if you comply now, you will continue to comply. And I believe they know that. And here's the reason. I've heard many people say to me, well, I just want to be able to travel, or I have bills to pay. Well, I would suggest that those reasons will still be there a year from now and 3 years from now. You're still going to want to travel and you're going to still have bills to pay. Do you see what I mean? If your reason is because you want to pay bills or because you want to travel, and that's why you're agreeing to it, you will agree to it 3 years from now, top up number 5, because your reason will be the same, because you'll still have bills to pay and you'll still want to travel. I would even suggest for those who say, well, I actually really do think it's more protecting, right? Well, then you'll say the same thing 3 years from now. If you think that it's protecting you, then you're going to say, yeah, give me another top up. And for all of you who are totally comfortable with the idea that they get to declare how often you get topped up, well, then I'm not speaking to you because that's your choice and that's up to you. I'm not speaking to you then. If you're cool with them topping you up as often as they like and you don't care, then I'm not speaking to you. But I can tell you this, there's lots of people who don't like that idea at all, including people who have been double stabby-jabbied. They want the right to say, okay, that's enough. I'm not a gas tank. You don't get to top me up every time you've decided to. Well, that clause says they can. And they'll do it by declaring you unstabby-jabbied, even though you've been stabby-jabbied. You see what they're doing there? So as much as your reasons might be understandable, paying bills, traveling, all those reasons are understandable. But they're not based on conscience and they're not based on firm integrity if you don't want them. You see? I'm sorry I have to say that to you, but I do. They're based on convenience. It's more convenient for you to just do what they say. And I have to tell you, they know that. And they know that once I've got you down on the one knee, it ain't long before the second knee comes down. And once I got you down on both knees, you ain't getting up unless I say so. And they know they got you. That's the deal. And by the way, a little sideline here, they call it a booster. Does that sound permanent to you? No, it sounds perpetual. So, I've decided that I'm not going to give the bully my lunch money. I hope this helps someone out there. And in the meantime, thanks for listening. Grace and peace.